the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I'm Jen Gaudet, your fearless host, entrepreneur, investor, and strategic business coach. Why are we here? We're here because I believe that iron sharpens iron. And when we bring experts and subject matter experts, successful entrepreneurs and investors here to share what's working in business and maybe even some of what's not, what we're able to do is have iron sharpen iron. So we're all able to learn, grow, and elevate our businesses and our lives. Why is that important? Because the ripple effect when we as entrepreneurs grow our business impacts not only ourselves, our family, our teams, and their family, but also impacts the communities that we live in and our world. I'm really excited to bring to you a very special guest today. This gentleman has cracked the code on exponential growth. He is an expert in that space, so you're going to want to listen to what he has to say. I have today Justin Breen, CEO of BR Epic Network. He is a Wall Street Journal and USA Today best-selling author. His book is Epic Life. We are super excited to have him here. Welcome to the studio, Justin.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
So Justin, you have a lot of things that you've done. You were a successful human being, a successful entrepreneur, and you are known for creating pretty much an incubator of geniuses, of true visionaries that are constantly introducing each other to one another and doing business together for that game-changing network. Tell me a little bit about how that came to be, how you envisioned that, and what is it that really sets you apart and allows you to have that highest level of networks?
Just a tremendous intro and simplification and great opening question. You're an achiever activator in Gallup Clifton Strength Finders. I'm an activator maximizer achiever. So you and I are very similar. And as you said, iron sharpens iron. So I'm a very simple person, even though doing a lot of things, it's all with simplicity. So I'm either spending my day doing one of two things. One, hanging out with my family, my wife, who is a pediatrician, who is transitioning into an amazing role as COO of Epic Network, which is a global connectivity platform for visionaries only. And then our two children, who are 10 and 9, they are both visionary maniacs like me, with my wife's kindness and empathy. So either doing that or talking to the world's top visionaries. So not business owners, not humans, not consultants. And then I just talk to visionaries, simplify what they say into patterns, and then connect them to other visionaries, because we're connecting visionaries to serve humanity.
And tell me, I know that you're very, very astute at discerning who are the right people to work with, who are the right visionaries, if you will, in order to really maximize your efforts. And you are an expert at sorting and sifting through and connecting the right people together. So is there something in that process that people who are listening and watching today can start to think about or enact in their sort and sift process, so they can start to up-level the level of relationships that they are building?
Right, that's tremendous. I love it. So how my brain works, and I just stopped questioning it a long time ago, is, again, most of my days talking to the world's top visionaries, and most of them are ADD, ADHD, not a disorder. It's a sign of genius mislabeled by humans, and they're all over the place, and they're blah, 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 and then my brain simplifies that into a pattern. So visionaries are completely different than humans, business owners, consultants. It's just a totally different type of brain. And they only have three attributes in their mindset, because my brain turns everything into patterns. So one, they're a visionary. So they see things before other folks. They're not a business owner. Their businesses are extension of their vision, but they're not business owners. They're visionaries. And they're definitely not employees. They're just pure visionaries. Two, they live in abundance. There's no scarcity. There's no excuses. And then this is the third, the key one. where I see a lot of visionaries who think they're visionaries, but they're actually not. A true visionary only looks at things as investments, not costs. So someone who asks, what do you cost or charge, is not a visionary because they live in cost scarcity world. And someone who lives in cost scarcity world cannot be a visionary.
That is a really, really succinct way of putting it. I want to dive into that because one of the keys to exponential growth, I mean, I've read your book. It's phenomenal. If you're watching, if you're listening, the first action step is to pick up Justin's book, and we'll talk about that more. But part of that, part of what you discussed just now was the abundancy versus scarcity mindset. And for a lot of people, they think they have an abundance mindset, but they really don't. So what are some of the things that we're thinking, saying, or communicating if we have an abundance versus a scarcity mindset?
Oh, so I'll give you an example, because talk to me is meaningless without an example. So my father was 61 when I was born, 61. He was a World War II hero, shot down multiple times in combat, many times without a parachute, and got back into a plane. So a visionary will do that. And someone who's not a visionary will make an excuse and not get back into the plane. But the main thing, in I guess a business sense, is there is no cost. There is no what do you charge. There's only investment mindset. And that's the trap of people that really think they're visionaries, but they're actually not. If you live in cost scarcity world, or what do you charge world, you're not a visionary. You think you might be, but you're not.
And I just want to highlight that for some of the people who are watching and listening. And it is always we are our best investment. It starts with us as 100%. Human beings. We are our best investment. So if we're always looking at things as how much can this make me in the business world, then we have more of an investment mindset. You might hear that. You might hear someone across the table from you. They listen to the value proposition, what it is that you do, and they'll say, great, how much is this going to escalate my growth, my business scale? What is this going to make me? And so that's kind of the sign of an abundance. Would you say that is accurate, Justin?
Well, one, thank you for saying that. So again, my brain turns everything into patterns. So I keep making bigger investments to be in smaller rooms, but the people in those rooms are making bigger impact. That allows me to spend biggest investment in smallest room, which is my family, where I can make the most impact. And as an aside to that, created my own, with a co-founder, and then my wife is COO, created our own high price point invite only connectivity platform, because bigger investment, smaller room, bigger impact. That allows me to spend biggest investment in smallest room, which is my family, where I can make the most impact. So the key to life for me is seeing the patterns in things. The patterns and things, and then using those patterns to create your own patterns. And then if you're not a litmus test for people you serve, then you're a hypocrite. So if you can't make bigger investments in yourself, how can you expect folks to make bigger investments in you if you don't make bigger investments in yourself first? So that's not selfish. That's just being a litmus test for the people you serve. And the purpose of my life is to be connecting visionaries to serve humanity. So I'm a visionary serving humanity by connecting visionaries to serve humanity. I mean, it's just a logical being a litmus tester person you're serving.
Absolutely. And I want to highlight something else that you said, because I think it's a key aspect. And I know in your work you talk a lot about this being a key to exponential growth, and that's finding your superpowers. And many times people don't realize what their superpower is. They're kind of like, okay, this is really easy to me, but they don't recognize that actually is their superpower. So for the people who are watching, the people who are listening, how can they find that level of focus? You are brilliant at seeing the patterns in things and escalating that. How can the people who are watching and listening find their superpower? What are the things that they can do to ensure that they are meeting with the right people, focusing on their number one superpower, so that they can continue to move into smaller rooms with bigger people, as you have described?
Okay. Thank you. My favorite quote from anyone besides my father, who died when I was 13 and was a World War II hero, he always said the cream rises to the top. So a visionary will just do whatever it takes to rise to the top. But besides that quote, Earl Nightingale, he's the OG of motivational speakers, did audio recordings in the early 1900s. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And you can replace worthy ideal with zone of genius, unique ability, purpose of life. However, however you want to do that. A good trick that I learned, I'm very grateful and honored to be in Strategic Coach. It's a top entrepreneur group, one of top entrepreneur groups on planet. I'm very confident saying that. A trick, writing down 30 things that you do every day, no matter how mundane, and just crossing off 27 that you don't like to do or are not good at, and then you have 3 left. You circle those, then you come up with a mission statement. My mission statement used to be, the purpose of my life is to be a connecting superhero for every visionary, abundance, investment mindset entrepreneur who shares their stories with the world. But because success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, the worthy progressive realization was that it's now connecting visionaries to serve humanity. So connecting visionaries to serve humanity is much simpler, easier to understand, and frankly, it's better than the former one.
Thank you so much for that. We do have to take a brief break. We are going to be back in just a few. Stick around. After these messages, we will get right back into this conversation.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you. Get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed. best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Welcome back to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. Jen Gaudet here, and I am here in studio with Justin Breen. And we had started this segment talking about a little bit about what separates really the visionaries, the super successful entrepreneurs from everyone else. And some of the key things that he talked about was abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. What does that mean? Are you willing to invest in yourself, invest in your business? Or are you thinking about everything as, what is this going to cost me? So the difference between being in an abundance mindset and being in a scarcity mindset is very key. Another thing we talked about was being able to put ourselves in the more curated rooms that we're able to focus on maximizing our impact and bigger impact for humanity. And last but certainly not least, he gave us some tools for that. So if you're just tuning in, make sure you go to nowmedia.tv, click Power CEOs, and catch the first segment, because he gave you some ideas and some of the ways that he has been able to curate his superpower so he could stand in that zone of genius and continue to focus on that so he could reach exponential scale and success. So Justin, we're going to dive right back in, and I want to address something that you said when you talked about focusing your time. You spoke about the importance of staying in that zone of genius, and a lot of it for you involves your family, spending time with your family, and then the other is your zone of genius when you are in the work mode. So a lot of entrepreneurs have a struggle as they're getting their success on the road in balancing that work-life integration. And since you've created the ability to be home with your family, integrate your business into your life, make it work so that you have that balance that keeps you in your zone of genius, what are some of the ways that people who are listening can start that process and actually get to that work-life integration so that they can focus on what matters most?
Well, again, thank you for that deep background and that great question. I'm a very simple person. And then there are only two questions that I ask myself every single day that matter. Only two, because less is more. And these are the only two questions that matter to me every single day. One, did I have a good experience that day with my family? The answer to that is always yes. Question two, did network grow on a global level? The answer to that question is always yes. So doing something like this, being in an entrepreneur group, doing a one-on-one meeting with a visionary, writing a story for a PR firm and then connecting them to hosts for the partner client to be interviewed. The answer to those are always yes. I have found that this business owner stuff, because I don't really focus on that, I just focus on spending time with my family and connecting visionaries to visionaries. I found the business owner stuff actually takes care of itself. So here's what I see, and this is why I wrote Epic Life, and I hope this helps answer your question. What an entrepreneur is, because I just talk to entrepreneurs, not business owners. There's a fundamental difference in that. What an entrepreneur actually is they're the most damaged person with the best coping skills, the most damaged. Most of the entrepreneurs I talk to are all four of these things. The four things are bankruptcy or potential bankruptcy, 2, depression, 3, the highest level of anxiety that you can imagine, 4, likely and or possible traumatic experiences as a child or young adult. So for humans, business owners, consultants, those are excuses. For an entrepreneur, figure it out. I mean, that's what entrepreneur life actually is. And then what I see in this world, and this is why I wrote Epic Life, which is how to build collaborative global companies while putting your loved ones first, I see these entrepreneurs who are damaged with these incredibly high IQ, EQ, courage, hustle. They use it to build all this stuff, these great companies, and then they torch their family or never have a family or bad relationships. So that's what I see over and over. So that's why I wrote the book.
And so let me ask you about the book. Did you write the book because you saw that for a long period of time? Like, what was the catalyst that said, you know what, I got to put this in writing. I need to make this more readily available as a resource. Like, how did that transpire? And is there something coming down the pipes or a next?
Man, I could talk to you all day. So, okay, so again, everything is a pattern. So the formula for creating a successful global company is a 4-step pattern that I see over and over. Is you see a problem, create solution, problem solved, successful global company. So first company was a journalist for 20 years, created entire business based on how PR firms annoyed me for 20 years, saw a problem, created solution, problem solved, successful global company. Second company, annoyed by platforms that let everyone in, because at the highest level, visionaries don't have time for that. So created a high price point, invite only connectivity platform, problem solved, successful global company. And all the book is a successful global company. You see a problem, talk to entrepreneurs who have let entrepreneur life destroy their family life or prevented them from having a family. Create solution, the book, problem solved, successful global company. So I'm very grateful that Dr. Peter Diamandis, who's one of the top entrepreneurs on planet, did the forward, and it's, made all the Wall Street Journal and USA Today lists, and, #1 for sales on Amazon. I'm very grateful for that. But all it is a successful global company because it solves the problem. And I know people like us want this. They want to put their family first. They just don't know how to do it many times because they're so damaged, and they use the coping skills to create this stuff, and then they torch their family in the process.
Thank you so much for that. We do have to take a brief break. We have our AI and tech tip of the week, so let's go ahead and dive into that. Super excited about our tech segment this week. We are talking all things AI and machine learning with our resident tech experts of Scovinen. I have Mike and Rishi here again today for you. And the question that I really have been pondering is, how does Scovinen approach the customization and adaptation of AI and machine learning algorithms to fit the unique characteristics and requirements of each client's operations? Because every business is different. And so there's always a unique bespoke opportunity.
There is. I mean, that's a great question. So you really want to dive down, as we always say, to the core fundamental of our company, into what the actual issue is: man, method, machine, material, measurement, environment. What's the problem? Once you do that, you can create the bespoke solution. And I sometimes catch myself when I say bespoke, because bespoke can always sound expensive, but it's not. What it just means is it means it doesn't come with all the other fluff. Right? When you look at some of these other solutions that are out there, you're buying an enterprise, you're buying a canned solution, and you probably don't need half that stuff, honestly. You just need to get the speedboat versus the tugboat or the cruise ship. So when you work with us, we just get right down there, we'll customize it for you, specific for your needs, and then deploy it very, very rapidly.
And how does that differ from some of the, I know you do software as a service as well. How does the bespoke application differ from, and the custom differ from what it is that you have kind of as your applications that are readily available?
So that's a great question. When we approach it from this non-SaaS perspective, we again start with the business problem, figure out what are we trying to solve for, and then our custom solution is specific. The custom machine learning models are built specifically to address just that problem without adding the what I would call fluff for that particular issue. So it's it just enhances it gets us to those results much more rapidly, and allows the client to get the most benefit from the solution.
I think it's also good to know, and I'll bring it up here because you talk about customization. You see the two of us, and I think that you, Jen, know that there's a third member. It's a triad, right? So there's three of us. It's a three-legged stool. Our other partner has got years of advanced knowledge in this. In fact, he's one of the world's leading people when it comes to AI and ML, and that allows us that customization aspect. A lot of the systems people are using these days were created by this gentleman, and this is just going to help us create that custom solution.
And so, I think about this a lot, and when we think about the bespoke solution, what I'm hearing as an entrepreneur is you're creating exactly what we need to solve the problem without all the other extraneous stuff that we're not going to use anyway, and we don't need to pay for it anyway because we're never going to use it. Right. And it also improves on the employee side or the person who's leveraging the technology, because they don't have to learn a bunch of things that they don't necessarily need for their day-to-day. So can you speak a little bit to that optimization? Yeah, so that's a great question. So I always say that it's also like squeezing a balloon, right? So you work on a very focused deployment and address the problem. But what the reality is, what's going to happen is when you address that problem, if you squeeze a balloon, what does it do? And it bubbles up elsewhere. So it allows the people to suddenly start thinking, having that, like you have wired into you, that entrepreneurial spirit of understanding, okay, now I solved this problem. Life is about a series of solving problems. Solving enough problems, you solved it, you got the right answer. So once we work with our clients, they start understanding, I've solved this, now I want to work on this. And that allows them to do short bursts. Again, there are enterprise systems out there. There are large consulting firms that offer enterprise systems, but it's boiling the ocean straight away. And the receptivity and the ability to absorb that and deploy, execute, understand it, comprehend it, and move on it is very difficult for folks. So if you can just be, again, that speedboat and get in there, solve the problem, and if it opens up another problem, solve that problem. Yeah, and I really like that you put that, because one of the things that we see a lot with integrations of any kind of technology is, you know, some people learn very rapidly, some people don't learn very rapidly. And if you're drinking from the fire hose already, then nothing gets done. And what good is your implementation of your tech strategy if it's not going to be utilized on the consumer side? So that is really fantastic. I love the way that you explain that. You have heard it here. These guys are experts in their space. If you would like to learn more about integrating technology in your business, specifically AI and machine learning, feel free to reach out to Mike and Rishi. They are here. They are our studio experts for this space. If you can't get them, feel free to reach out to me and I will give you that connection. We do have to take a brief break. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Gaudet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
¿Quieres tener el mejor recuerdo de bodas, original, exclusivo y fuera de lo común? Entra a www.larevistadetuboda.mx o visítanos en nuestra página de Instagram o Facebook. Descubre todo lo que puede quedar plasmado en el recuerdo que siempre soñaste. Reportajes, entrevistas, un diseño personalizado, sesiones fotográficas y mucho más. Solo en la revista de tu boda.
Palitos y Bolitas es la catedral de la explicación. Este programa es la única parada que necesitas para entender los porqués y cómo de todo lo que pasa en México y el mundo. Lunes a viernes, 7 p.m. por Heraldo Televisión.
Welcome back to Power CEOs, The Truth Behind the Business. I am Jen Gaudet, entrepreneur, investor, and business strategist. We are just coming back from break, and if you're joining now, make sure you go to nowmedia.tv, go to Power CEOs, and watch the first half of today's episode. Why? Because Justin Breen is spilling all about how to escalate and have exponential success. We've talked about shifting to an abundance mindset. We've talked about being a visionary. We've talked about focusing on our zone of genius. You've heard me say that. I think he uses a different terminology, but focus on what matters most. Ask the key performance questions in your life. And in the last segment, he gave the cute questions that he asked himself at the end of each day to make sure he is focused on his superpowers. So if you're just joining in, you're going to want to catch that. And we're going to dive right back in because before the break, Justin, we were talking about your book and what prompted you to write the book. How did that transpire? And I asked you what's next. So I'd love to dive right into what's next for you. You've achieved epic success. You're an expert at finding the problem, solving the problem, creating the global business. So what's next for you?
Well, one, your memory retention and ability to simplify previous segments into the intro to the next one, that's a very, very rare skill. There are very few, and I was a journalist for 20 years. That ability is a very special skill. You're completely the opposite of this, but Howard Stern has that ability. So that's and he's a pure genius. His style's different, but he can remember. So Chris Mad Dog Russo is like that as well. He's a sports host. I know you're in the athletic game for a long time, so maybe you know him more. But that's a rare ability.
Thank you.
So that's one. Two, whenever I write a third book, I already have the chapters. Available, ready to go. But it'll be called Epic Family, and that book will be more about my wife, who is a full stabilizing, high IQ pediatrician who's transitioning out of pediatrics as she's the COO of Brepic Network, and she has zero business background, zero. In the 2 months or so that she's been COO, she's onboarded over $250,000 US in new members, again with zero business background. And she's Harmony 1 in Strength Finders. Harmony, you and I are both like full activator, go for it. She is Harmony Relator Achiever, so she's a high achiever as well, but she does it by like being nice and kind. So I'm really excited to see how she is evolved and transformed, and she'll be a much bigger deal than I am, which I want that to be the case, because success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So I'm really excited when the time is ready to write that book and really highlight her and how she's transformed, because her success relates to anyone. The way I talk and communicate, it's really only for visionaries. She can communicate to anyone and show that this life is possible for more people.
Fantastic. I really can appreciate that. And as somebody who comes from the medical field, I want to kind of shift the conversation, because we do have a lot of people who watch who are executives or they're professionals, and they're doing the things, and they are visionaries. They're stuck in a job because they don't recognize the potential, or maybe they have the ideas and they're always pushing forward.
No
they're
excuses.
Super high,
no excuses.
Yeah, they're the super high performers. They just haven't been exposed to the ability to move forward, or they don't have that in their toolbox or their exposure. For those people who are listening to this and saying, wow, I want to have a massive impact in the world. I'm always the highest performer. I'm tired of the corporate red tape.
Do it.
Do it. What is the first step?
I mean, well, again, my litmus test is my father, who was shot down multiple times in combat in World War II and got back into a plane. And so most people can't do that. They're not. I think most people would want to be top visionaries on the planet, but those four things, bankruptcy, potential bankruptcy, depression, anxiety, and then trauma as a child or young adult, those are excuses. A visionary will do whatever that's why most people aren't like this. If you are like this, usually people like us are married to stabilizing humans. Not always, but usually. The equivalent to that from a mindset perspective is having a stabilizing mindset of gratitude, and I'll explain what that means. The first thing I do every day is a grateful journal to my wife, what I'm grateful for her the previous 24 hours without her very bad situation. 6 days a week, no matter the weather conditions. We live in Chicago, so the weather is usually terrible here. I run 3 to 5 miles a day outside, no matter the weather, and listen to shows like this, so you're fueling brain, lungs, heart, muscles, bones, all that, blood. And then 5 days a week, I'll include this and that. I do a grateful journal on LinkedIn, what I'm grateful for that day, and it's like a commercial for others. So what that means is if you're constantly grateful, it's really hard to be ungrateful, and that attracts gratitude and repels arrogance and folks that make excuses.
That's a fantastic synopsis, and your superpower truly is simplification of these ideas. Yeah. So if you're listening, if you're watching, gratitude is huge. We've talked about gratitude before on the show, and I also begin my day with gratitude. The other thing that gratitude is really awesome at is if something's not going your way, or if you have an experience that maybe is a little bit more challenging and you have to dive in and solve it, when you shift to gratitude, you always have a positive mindset. Positive and negative cannot coexist at the same time. And so it keeps you in that, okay, great, this happened. What was the learning here? And so that's something that we've talked about before. But what Justin said, it's something that you've heard before. So this is an awesome action step if you haven't done it before. Start your day with gratitude. What are you grateful for? Express it. Thank the people publicly for the things that happen. Justin said he goes on LinkedIn and he is posting gratitudes on LinkedIn, and it's basically a commercial for the people that he's met. What does that do? That actually is epic for your relational capital. People see that and they go, wow, that was very selfless. He didn't have to do that. So it actually strengthens his relationships. He's not going to say this because he's going to keep it to the distilled level, but I want to make sure that those of you who heard this, there's very real momentum that shifts. And if you're stuck in a job, or you're in a situation where you have more and you're solving big problems and you have a big vision with massive impact, today's the day to take action. He also said something very key, which was he moves his body every day, no excuses. And that is so pivotal because it keeps the blood flowing, it keeps the creative problem solving, and it kind of is the fuel for entrepreneurs. We need that in order to keep our creative processes, our creative problem solving, and the things that we do most going. So I just wanted to summarize that a little bit because we've said
this is your superpower. Your summaries of simplification is your superpower. And then I can simplify your summary. That's my superpower.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect team, right? Very complimentary.
That's why it works.
So for when we think about that, when we think about the habits of success, you've stuck with purpose. You've mentioned purpose a whole lot of times. A lot of what experience I have had and what questions we get on the show is, I feel like I'm meant for more. I see the solutions to big problems, but they're not really crystal clear on their purpose. How is it that they can become crystal clear on their purpose?
Well, again, what I've seen with Earl Nightingale, success is progressive realization of worthy ideal. And I'll answer it from this perspective. My 9-year-old, his name is Chase. He's my youngest son. Our 10-year-old Jake, he's already running. His top 5K time is 20 minutes 38 seconds. So he's a high achiever. That's pretty fast for an adult, let alone a 10-year-old. But when my 9-year-old son Chase was 8, we were talking about IQ and bending time. So I'm guessing most parents don't talk to their children about that, but that's what visionaries, I think, do talk to their children about. I'm guessing you talk to your 27-year-old about that in some capacity, but so Chase, I'm paraphrasing Chase, he considers life one long great day. So yesterday's before you were born, tomorrow's after you die. So there's no like Friday or August or 2023 or whatever that is, and said he said there are only 2 ways to have a great long day. There are only 2, because he's a simplifier like me. So one is create more living things. The fundamental purpose of any living thing is to create more living things. So that could be a human, it could be planting a tree, it could be creating a company. I mean, it's something alive. And then 2, do what you like to do and what you're good at, and keep getting better at it. So I just do what I like to do and what I'm good at, and just keep getting better at it. And again, a visionary will never stop the successive progressive realization of a worthy ideal. They'll just keep doing it to find that purpose. And then someone who's not will just wander off into the abyss and never find it.
Fantastic. So some immediate takeaways before we break, because we're about to have to break for commercial. What is it that you're learning? What is your superpower? How are you learning and growing and making that an even stronger strength? And continue to focus and double down on creating things that are solving problems. We will be back after these messages.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Gaudet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
¿Quieres tener el mejor recuerdo de bodas, original, exclusivo y fuera de lo común? Entra a www.larevistadetuboda.mx o visítanos en nuestra página de Instagram o Facebook. Descubre todo lo que puede quedar plasmado en el recuerdo que siempre soñaste. Reportajes, entrevistas, un diseño personalizado, sesiones fotográficas y mucho más. Solo en la revista de tu boda.
Palitos y Bolitas es la catedral de la explicación. Este programa es la única parada que necesitas para entender los porqués y cómo de todo lo que pasa en México y el mundo. Lunes a viernes, 7 p.m. por Heraldo Televisión.
Welcome back to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. We are really having an amazing conversation today. If you're just now joining us, you're going to want to go to nowmedia.tv, click on Power CEOs, and catch the beginning part of today's episode. Why? Because it has been pure gold. We've talked about the keys to exponential growth. We've talked about an abundance mindset and the difference between abundance and scarcity. We've talked about what is a visionary and how to find your superpower so that you can have your exponential growth by focusing on your zone of genius. We've talked about work-life balance and how to make that a reality for you and so much more. But we're going to continue the conversations. I'm here with Justin Breen of Brepic Network. And Justin, I want to talk a little bit more about the network that you have pulled together, because you and I both know relational capital, finding and working in collaborative efforts with people who get it, people who are visionaries, movers and shakers, and are going to take action and make it happen and solve big problems, that is how we're able to truly realize our mission, vision, purpose in life and impact the lives that we want to impact. So talk to me about the network. Like, tell me a little bit about how it started and where you're taking this.
Thank you. Again, I marvel at your brain how you're able to do that. You must have trained your brain for years in a good way to be able to simplify and summarize. And I'm going to focus on that because that's a true gift. Okay, so I'm very grateful to have been on hundreds of shows like this, and this every meeting is an opportunity for mentorship. So I use these opportunities to learn and be mentored. And several years ago, during shows like this, I would always say the PR firm that I started 6 years ago, it's not a PR firm. It's just a giant incubator of geniuses, and we're constantly introducing each other for mutual gain. And then one day, it just popped into head, just create a company that's a giant incubator of geniuses for any type of intro, not just media, and then for mutual gain. So And this is what Epic Life is about. It's about how that company was built. I can't build a SaaS platform. I'd electrocute myself. So I needed to find a partner. That partner is Mark Fujiwara. I'm in Chicago. Mark is in San Francisco. I would describe him as a visionary integrator. So he's full backstage, but he's a bigger visionary than I am. And I'm an integrating visionary. So we can both kind of do both. And then Mark, most of his day is doing 8 and 9 figure deals. That's not my world. I just like to connect people. And then my wife, who noticed that all I do is talk to visionaries all day, and she started to absorb it, she decided she wanted to become more of a visionary. So she is transitioning out of pediatrics. She works part-time now, and she's the COO of company. And as I said in a previous statement, she's an onboarding machine who's bringing a ton of revenue profit into the company. And what this company is, it's literally just connecting visionaries to serve humanity. That's all it is. It's not for business owners. It's not for humans. It's for pure visionaries who want to change the world, and they will make big investment to be in that room, because bigger investment leads to smaller room, but the people in those rooms are making bigger impact.
Of course, and they're highly qualified, right? I'm gonna say this for the record. Like, a lot of times we've talked in the past on this show about masterminds. We've talked about putting yourself in the room that makes you uncomfortable. Because even as visionaries, if we're not in a room with people that actually we look at and we go, how am I in this room? I'm not there yet. We're in the right room. We want to be a little bit uncomfortable because we always want to be stretching to the next level. And that does require investment. We invest in ourselves. You are your best investment. You will have your greatest ROI. And so you have really created that space for people to invest, to be moving and shaking in those elevated rooms that are going to stretch them, as well as, you know, impact the business side of things, because the relationship, the impact, the purpose, and how we serve, the money always follows. I know that to be true beyond anything. Everything that I've done is a value oriented. It's relationship capital. It's serving people. It's solving a big problem, and the money always follows. And so
it's a byproduct.
You've created it in such a great way. And so I'm going to tell everybody who's on here, you know me, I'm a coach at heart. I've helped mentor people for my entire life, and the knowledge that you've gotten from Justin here from this conversation, that's just a very small part of the equation. Action's where the magic happens. This is what separates the men from the proverbial boys in business and in life. Like, there's a lot of crowd at the bottom. It's very, very limited at the top. There's a lot of space at the top because there's few people up there, because what they're doing is they're taking massive action in alignment with their purpose, their vision, where they're headed, and they are making big changes. So I am calling you out and asking you to take action. And the first action is to pick up that book, Epic Life. I picked it up. I read it. It's phenomenal. You can find it very easily. It's a Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller, Epic Life. That is your first action step. If you haven't read it, if you're listening to this, you're like, wow, I want that work-life balance. I want that exponential scale and success in my business and life. I want to be able to do massive, impactful things in the world and meet other people who do have a massive impact in the world. That's a great start and a perfect first action step. So Justin, in addition to buying Epic Life, reading that and figuring that out and getting that work-life integration and focusing on your superpower, what other action steps can people who have watched the show or listened today start today that's going to move them forward?
Well, I think your new nickname is the Great Summarizer. You're more than welcome to take that if you want. You're the Great Summarizer, but I think you're the Great Summarizer. I don't think I've ever heard a better summarizer than you. For me, I don't usually give compliments. That's a good one.
Thank you.
2 resources. 1, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. That's the ultimate no excuses. Viktor Frankl survived Holocaust. His entire family was killed, lost his entire life's work, and found meaning in that. That's the ultimate no excuses. 2 is Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. Most folks know Napoleon Hill for Think and Grow Rich. I think Outwitting the Devil is far superior. And to really understand the visionary mind of what we've been talking about today, that's a great resource. Those 2 books for sure.
Fantastic. So you heard it here. Justin is an epically successful individual. He's a successful visionary. He is making major changes in the world, major impact in the world, and connecting visionaries together. He gave you a couple of resources. I gave you his book, Epic Life. Pick it up, support him, reach out. So Justin, if people are visionaries and they have read Epic Life, they've heard this, and they're like, I am looking to make a huge impact in the world. I have this big problem that I'm solving. I am a visionary. I'm going to make it happen. How can they reach out to you to connect with you, or how can they learn more?
BrepicNetwork.org, BREPICnetwork.org. That has all the information, and it's invite only, but there's a place to fill out to see if you'd like to be in the network.
Fantastic. So reach out, check out BrepicNetwork.org, get in touch. And before we wrap, we are rapidly coming to a close, unfortunately, Justin. Any last thing that you would like to shout out or share with the world today?
I am a dad who happens to be an entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur who happens to be a dad.
Fantastic. You heard it here first, folks. Thank you so much, Justin, for your expertise. I really appreciate it. It was phenomenal. It was great connecting with you. And I appreciate everything that you have shared with my audience today. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And you, yes, you, I am talking to you now. You have been here. You have listened to this entire episode. You have heard all of the gems that Justin was dropping on you. Now is the time to take action. Yes, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Pick up the book, Epic Life. He talked about a couple of other resources. We even talked about morning habits, getting up, having gratitude, moving your body, feeding your mind, learning every single day. What is the action step you're going to take? Do it now, not later, because then it just becomes another hour that I listen to some people talk about amazing stuff and consumption doesn't move us forward. So let's take that step. Let's increase our trajectory. Let's improve our business and improve our life by doing so. And so, unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, including this show. But the good news is we are going to be here same time, same station next week. But until then, I want you to go win today, win this week, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.